to understand what's going on at the consumer level. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I had never actually heard the Goofy suit before. It's pretty good. So.
I've started watching Silicon Valley
Oh, okay.
because I was like, you know what, I'll finally dive into this absurdity, and I didn't realize it was a Mike Judge project until I got into it. I was like, why? I want to start watching this soon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I love Office Space and Idiocracy and the other stuff. Um, and it's like one of the comments, one of the characters was talking about the importance of understanding, what it's like for the consumer, and companies, big companies not understanding how their products are perceived or received. And they made a comment about spending time with the Goofies too. And I find that just a funny phrase.
Oh no, it hits hard for me because in the 30-ish jobs that I've worked, one of them was managing a Domino's, and I bought a gorilla costume
Oh dear God.
because it realized that people don't pay attention to signs, but they pay attention to human suffering. So I was like, I'm gonna put someone in a gorilla costume wearing a Domino's shirt and hat, and they're gonna hold up our special sign by the busy road, and that will attract attention. But in order to make my employees realize that I wasn't just being a cruel corporate overlord, I wore the gorilla suit first, and it was horrible. And I was like, no one should have to do this. And I went back inside, and I told somebody to put on the suit and go out by the road. So, yeah.
No one should have to do this. Go put it on.
Do as I say, not as I
Go
do.
But because
Now,
I had done
lately,
it,
in
they realized that like this guy, he was willing to do this, so we should be willing to do it too for a little bit less money that he gets. And I was like,
Yeah, but
yeah.
you never put yourself back on rotation, did you?
No, I did sometimes. Sometimes if I
Okay.
was, yeah, you could
All right.
always feel the morale of the team. If you ever needed the morale back up, you'd put on the gorilla suit or something.
All
So,
right. Okay.
but
I
man,
respect the
if it didn't
story.
work, people would be like, man, I almost got in an accident. I saw that gorilla. I almost crashed the car from me. I had to come in and get a pizza. I was like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Human suffering. That's what it's about. All right. So, I think we're all here. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Last week, Jenna applied for a job at her father's company. He swung by the ship, and I'd say the interview went pretty well. Uh, in the end,
Okay.
in the end, he offered her a job working for Thay Industries. And now we're waiting for her to make a decision about that. Uh, gosh, really, when I say it like that, it sounds like a really chill and peaceful session, which it was, 100%. All right, so I'll take you guys back to the big ship map where you guys can figure out what your next move is. I think we said we were going to pull into Saltmarsh, but I'll give you a chance to, kind of double check that. I'll also send you guys a screenshot of just how many crit cards there were last week, and I think I even deleted a couple of them, but it was pretty bananas. And then put it in game art. Ooh boy, was that a lot of cards. There's a bunch on the bottom too that you can't even see. So hopefully the dice kind of calm themselves down this week, because it seems like it was a lot. All right. So to you guys, what is
Oh, that's why I got trampled by zombies on Thursday. Okay.
Don't worry, Will and I have a Photoshop template, so we're gonna start adding customs to the deck. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
dear.
yeah. All right. So I hand the mic over to you, Jenna. You are the captain. Your crew. I think they did want to go to Saltmarsh, but let me know what you finally decide, and I'll move you to the appropriate map.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Saltmarsh, and then Jenna's gonna pull Aphra into her cabin.
No. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Should we fade to black, or is this like bad bitch plotting stuff? Like,
Bad
Too
bitch
late to
plot
go
and stuff.
into secret chat, so the men that are supporting the two bad bitches don't know what's up.
I mean, that's probably not a bad idea.
all right, you guys head
You
into
agree with
secret
them?
chat, I guess. We'll all wait here unless you need me to mitigate something. So,
I don't need your mitigation.
okay, sure. I guess we'll just wait
Charlotte,
here.
if it turns bad, just let me know. I mean, I can come to your aid. Just holler.
Okay.
Garuda, can you post the
Okay.
link to the Twitch in general chat?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Garuda?
Yeah, I got you, dude. Oh. Can you hear me? Hold on.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I hear you now. Sorry, I'm just yeah.
Is
Working
Canadian family reunion wearing you out? You sound pretty busted.
it's one of those things like Ma's house is really hot at night, no AC. I haven't slept
Oh.
more than like 2 hours a night.
Oh dear God.
For
Just
family. That's what you gotta do. My family's family reunion, they all canceled it because we have tremendously bad immune systems. So everybody just was like, we're all too sick. So we just canceled. We weren't even sick. We're actually the healthiest we've ever been because we're not seeing other human beings. So, but still, no, I didn't cry too much when I found out the family reunion was canceled this summer.
We came over. Like, I have an aunt who's really sick, and yeah, no, she's actually been in the hospital most of the time we've been out here. So it's been a weird week, but you know, finding
It's
the
all
joy where
good.
I can.
You'll be home soon, and you'll appreciate it even more than you already did before. Yep. And you'll have filled up the family feels meter or whatever. Yeah, exactly. All right. So while these ladies are plotting, do the dudes have any plotting they want to do? Oh, dang. Okay. They're slick. Yeah, they're slick. Okay. All right, you've returned.
Who's slick? What?
What? Nothing.
Mm.
Yeah. The guys weren't plotting. That
Uh-huh.
wasn't a thing. So.
Not at all.
All right.
Although Pietro would have approached Garuda and asked if he wants to be roomies.
Oh, yeah.
He's asking this out of a sense of concern for Garuda because we keep losing people.
That's fair.
My room kind of blows up a lot, Pietro. I'm not sure you want to live there. But yeah, sure.
I'm not sure if you want to live there, but okay. Well, my concern is that if we are attacked in the future, perhaps the pair of us might be able to fend off demons better, as opposed to us sleeping separately.
You just want to sleep with me, Pietro, don't you?
Oh.
Garuda,
Saucy.
if I wanted to be intimate with you, I think you would have known by now. I do know. You are an excellent warrior. I value you as a comrade. But it is more of a matter of practicality than a matter of sexual.
Yeah, sure, Pietro, whatever you say.
All right. Do you do a big slow bird wink?
Yeah, he does. Completely.
Okay. Do Aarakocra have eyelids? Yeah, birds have eyelids, right?
Everything has
Yeah.
eyelids.
Everything? I don't know about everything.
Wait, do birds have eyelids? I've never seen a bird's eyelids.
All right, hold on. Do birds? FBI agent's like, what is he doing now?
They blink. Like, I have seen birds blink.
Yeah.
All right,
Upper
all
and
right,
lower
all right.
eyelids. Upper and lower eyelids. Okay.
Fortunately, birds have evolved a structure for protecting their eyes. Like humans, they have upper and lower outer eyelids. But beneath the outer eyelids lies an extra eyelid called the
Ooh.
reticulating membrane.
Like every species but humans has that.
I'm a little jealous. What happened to our reticulating membrane?
I don't
We
think
don't-
we want one.
Do you
We don't
think
have
we
enough
Sounds
do you
room
think we
awful.
in our
lost it
stupid
when we
heads.
fell from grace in the Garden of Eden? Science.
Yes,
All right.
Crash. That's exactly what happened.
All right. So you guys, sorry, you guys pull in to Saltmarsh. Bloody Bjorn approaches Captain Jenna the Generous and says, Captain, we're gonna be needing some repairs.
Yeah,
After
just
they're finished, you want us to find some work or wait for your orders?
recrew and wait for my orders.
Aye, will do. On the recruiting, you want quality, scum, or quality scum?
Quality scum.
Alright. Might take a little while, but we'll see what we can do. I'll hit up old Kreb Shanker, see if he's got any leads for us.
Sure he will.
Alright. So, you pull into the lovely town of Saltmarsh. There we go. Can you guys see Saltmarsh?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright,
And
cool.
quick question, Crash. How long from the assault to when we pulled into the port? Would it have been enough time for a long rest? Or
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
You guys
We
could
perhaps level 10? Just feeling it.
What? No.
Okay, I was just feeling.
Okay. It was a good fight. But certainly not enough to take you level 10. Well, I will. It's on my list of things to do today. I will pay out the XP from previous sessions into chat today. All right, there's a lot to do in the town. I guess the question is, what do you do first? A lot of people you haven't seen in a while. A lot of things to follow up on.
I mean, do we want to go chat with Lady Primewater still, or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to hear what she has to say.
Okay. So the intention is to head on over to Prime Water Estate. Got it. That is an excellent question. Do you send word? I'm gonna assume that you guys, after the attack with the crew being diminished, you probably needed to regroup out there. So I'm gonna assume that you guys timed it so that you could get some rest. You arrive in Saltmarsh around 10 in the morning.
I still have that Bluetooth, so Pietro can contact Lady Primewater, let her know that we're coming. Unless we want this to be a surprise.
Yeah, I would also just send Mr. Primewater sending that we're going to be arriving in the morning.
Okay, that works. All right. Since they are prepared for your arrival, the curtains are drawn to block out any pesky sunlight that might be coming in. Though it's not too much of a problem. It is another rainy and miserable day in this city of Saltmarsh. The rain sort of pounds down in a constant barrage. The streets semi-flood. And even the swampy areas outside of town begin to overflow a little bit. The stink kind of carries in the moist air of swamp and fish. So, with all that beautiful ambiance, you head on over to the Primewater Manor, which we now have a sheet for. Before we could do that, let's see. Larionis, are you prepared to intro your new character, or do you want to wait?
I'm good.
You're good? In which way? You said basically an affirmative to two different questions.
You're either good to wait or you're good to present. So which is it?
Yes.
Oh God! All right. There is no one new waiting for you at the docks as you head over to Primewater Manor. All right. Confusion is dealer's choice. Okay. So you guys head on over. If you don't have a mini on this map, you could certainly drop one over. Here we go. All right. Okay, that's working. Cool. All right. As you approach the manor, you see the soothing and not at all sinister music of Prime Water Estate starts playing. And as per the usual, you are greeted at the door by guards. They look dour and grumpy because they're being rained on, and there's very little protection on the covered porch from just the smell and the weather. You can see that their boots and cloaks are wet because they do occasionally take turns doing like a perimeter walk, that sort of thing. Even though it is daytime, they have lanterns to try to like light up the fog that's sort of rising up from the warm streets via the cold rain. Recognizing you, but also living in a fantasy magical world, they are cautious, but eventually call for Feliza, who arrives and motions you guys inside, wherein
Wait,
she.
what? I thought she was Daggerford.
No,
Feliza?
two different
No.
ladies. Yeah, no, two
This
different
is
ladies.
Yeah, this is the little gnome lady that runs the
Drug cupboard.
the
Yeah, I got
this,
confused too, Pietro.
this is the little gnome lady that is Prime Water's maid and housekeeper.
Okay.
You're thinking of Ida Owland,
Yeah.
who's another sexy old lady, but she's a Daggerford. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No worries, no worries. Uh, no, it's all good. Uh, your character would know immediately because Felice is like 2.5 feet tall. Whereas Ida is a mighty 5 foot even. So,
All right.
so Felice motions you guys in, prestidigitates all your damp, wet clothes, and offers you again an opportunity to sit in the drug and alcohol lounge where you can kind of relax and wait to be seen. By now, you would assume that they would just, meet with you and wouldn't have to constantly make you do this, but it seems to be a routine of sorts. Or they're just really busy people and they don't want you wandering around the house unsupervised. And there's this flashback to a sleepover party that happened. So, all right. As you guys are hanging out and waiting, about 20 minutes or so passes before the door opens and Prime Water walks in alone. Jenna and crew, I'm pleased to see you. I had heard you headed north to Waterdeep after your affair in Daggerford was complete. I trust a bit of time away made the heart grow fonder for our dear Saltmarsh.
Of course. He
So,
said,
oh, is
go
everything
ahead.
all right? You seem troubled.
I'm fine.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't suppose you're here because Kreb let you in on a lucrative business opportunity.
No, last time we spoke in Daggerford, you said your wife wanted to talk to me.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She does. She is still putting on her face. So, she's not much of a morning person, as you have no doubt figured out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I figured we
Yeah.
could maybe talk a little business while we waited for her to be ready.
Sure.
Of course.
What'd you have in mind?
Uh, well, a very good friend of mine, and honestly, Timora herself maybe even orchestrated the serendipity that puts us in this situation. A very good friend of yours, I might like to say, has run into some difficulties and has reached out to me to find, get ready for it, a small elite team of highly trained professionals that could discreetly resolve an issue for them. They can't move directly against these people, and they can't have any of their known allies move against these people. So they need a third party, as it were, a cat's paw to resolve this little conflict for them. I will tell you that the client is extremely powerful and well connected, and would view any assistance in this matter in a very positive way. Anyone that perhaps owns ships or uses ships or likes to traverse the ocean safely would benefit from being this individual's friend.
That sounds like us.
So, from what I've heard of your from your crew, you have encountered a creature similar to this individual. Um, all right, I'll stop beating around the bush. There's a kraken. It it's hmm, it's not really a baby. Uh, I guess its clone has been uh, kidnapped, clone napped, baby napped. The guilty party is using it as leverage to coerce the Kraken into inaction slash actions it doesn't feel very comfortable with. It needs the clone returned. I have a pretty good idea of where it's being kept. Uh, Essentially, you would make your way there, um, kill everybody involved, and rescue the baby. I mean, talk about heroics, rescuing a baby.
All this time, Aphra has just gotten that like curious head tilt going on, and it's tilting more and more. What actions would a kraken not be comfortable with?
Mostly just being told what to do, I'm assuming.
Oh,
Now, if you're feeling sentimental, this is the same Kraken that orchestrated the destruction of the prison ship that set you free and before my path.
So who has the baby kraken?
I'm sure you're getting tired of hearing this, but it seems like cultists have the baby Kraken. Uh, it feels like Saltmarsh has become like cultist con, uh, Sword Coast, but yes, these do appear to be cultists of some sort or another. Demon worshippers, I believe. Lots of red in their robes and iconography. Um,
I mean, there's so many that fit that
they,
description.
they're employing a mercenary band of hobgoblins to sort of maintain the appearance of a hobgoblin fortress, but we're pretty sure in that fortress they have the Kraken baby somewhere in a fish tank, maybe. I don't know.
Where is this
I'm
fortress?
very curious what a Kraken baby looks like, because I have nightmares still about the various Krakens I have encountered. But they say most things are cute when they're babies, so.
Most things.
Is this a fort along a coastline, or is this inland?
It is a small island, north and west of us. Now, it's problematic because,
by ship?
well, you could definitely take your little battleship and just completely decimate their fort. More than likely, if they are well funded, and they must have been to be able to steal from a kraken, they will have countermeasures. So just keep that in mind as well. I don't know what other options you would have. A large ship like yours, the downside is it's very hard to move about without being noticed. So, more than likely, they will be aware of your approach and be able to set up defenses accordingly, unless you come up with some other means of doing so. Now, I understand that compensation is important to you, but I also understand that money will become less and less of an issue for you as you continue to grow and expand your fleet and your connections. And that's where this really comes into play. It's all about connections. Why is my fleet one of the most successful on the Sword Coast? Because nobody fucks with us. Right? As long as I operate in waters controlled by my Kraken ally, I pretty much move about unmolested. Furthermore, and I try not to do this too often, I can occasionally call upon them for assistance, such as maybe freeing a family member from a prison ship where it reaches Waterdeep. If you were to take care of this little problem, I would be able to bring you into the family, as it were.
I could see
So-
how this would be beneficial.
I can as well, but how honorable are krakens? I can't say I've ever had a conversation with one.
Oh my. I mean, they're possessed of a mind far beyond yours and mine. Uh, I suppose it's like trying to make a deal with an evil genie and a devil at the same time. More than likely, someday I'm going to get burned, but in the meantime, I continue to profit. The important thing is, and he looks at Aphra meaningfully, you keep it strictly business. Don't take any offers of mystical or eldritch power. Don't allow the creature into your mind. Certainly don't take any hexblade weapons that it offers you. Yeah, I ran afoul of a hexblade of this particular kraken, who had betrayed said kraken. I tracked him down. Fight broke out, and once I had gotten the information I needed from him, he just died. His brain melted inside of his head, oozed out of his ears and mouth.
Nice.
From my estimation, the kraken was over 1,000 miles away at the time, and was still able to do this thing.
Lord Primator, a question of practicality.
Sure.
Assuming that there is no easy way to release this Kraken's offspring, how will this creature not assume that we are also enemies? Just another party trying to take advantage of it for their own means. Not to say that we would,
no,
but I do not
no.
want to be attacked by the hostage.
Well, the baby, currently cannot be reached by its progenitor, I guess, father, mother. I don't know. I don't know how it all works. My wife tells me that this is more than likely because the baby is kept in a lead-lined cell or tank, which prevents magical, I guess, communications. lead is apparently an extremely unmagical material.
Yeah, Jenna just nods.
Yeah, I've been tempted to just line the whole house with it, but I don't know. I don't really feel like renovating on that scale, you know? But
And also,
the fireproofing seems like it'd be pretty good.
it has some health issues as well.
Does it?
It does. It
Huh.
does. Yeah.
I don't know. When I was young, I had a lucky drinking flagon made of lead. I
Mm-hmm.
used it for years. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like cocks an eyebrow at you like you're messing with him. Like, there's nothing wrong with lead. Next thing you know, you're gonna say that there's something dangerous about cigarettes.
Right.
And almost as if on cue, you hear the snick of a cigar being chopped, and then he lights it up.
Is
Oh, I'm
Kelly
sorry, it's so
involved in this?
rude. Did anyone like some of this? And he
Yes.
offers the box of cigars.
No,
What
thank you.
Pietro will take another one.
Okay.
do you
Jenna's
mind if I go to
smoking
your
one.
drug room and partake in that?
Oh, well, we're in the quote-unquote drug room, as you call it, Garuda, and it's been restocked for your arrival.
Bright water, thank you. And Grill help himself to some mushrooms.
You are an exceptionally skilled individual, one I consider very lucky to call an ally.
There's a tear that comes to Garuda's eyes as he eats his shrooms.
I surreptitiously ask Pietro to get out the leash. Just in
So,
case.
Kelladek, I'll be honest, I'm not privy to his many plans and machinations. Uh, we are allies, in so much as I'm given permission to smuggle in and out magical goods and reagents and that sort of thing. Beneficial to me, but as you know, he does have the entire trade of spell components locked down. That is, of course, until the last couple months when the followers of Joachim boldly set up shop. It's my understanding that he has sent some people to speak with them, but their belief in free commerce is so fervent that they refuse to pay him protection money, bribes, or leave. So who knows how much longer that's going to last. That being said, they don't set up a brokerage of Joachim without feeling confident in their defenses. So perhaps that's why Keleric hasn't moved against them. He likes to avoid big, messy, public shows of power. Uh, in the last several decades, I think he's only really been seen doing magic in public a handful of times. Mostly to scare away some big monster or flex his magic guns at a potential rival. Normally, he lets his reputation do all the work for him. And he does have a fair amount of agents in his service. You familiar with creatures known as cambions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
half demons. Sort of what a tiefling wishes it was. Um, Possessed of tremendous magical powers, but tempered by their mortal blood. Very, very dangerous. He has several of them that work as his eyes and ears out in the field. Much like the succubi, they are ready shapeshifters, so it's always difficult to know where exactly Keldek and his network are at any given time. Is he wrapped up in the theft of this baby? If he is, he's using several shell organizations to conceal it. As far as I know, he doesn't go in for cultist or public, demon worship. But I mean,
So why
there's
are you suspicious that he might be involved anyway?
oh, you picked up on that.
Jenna's
try to.
let's wait a moment. Jenna's gonna cast Mordecai's Private Sanctum.
Oh,
Just
okay.
asking to wait 10 minutes.
Sure. He rings a little bell. Feliza brings in some little sandwiches with the crust cut off. And then there's a bowl of pickles. And there's some deviled eggs. And she looks around and says, will you be wanting cheese? No?
Aphra just
No?
raises an eyebrow,
course.
like who has never ever wanted cheese?
No, of course. Alright. And she comes back with the cheese.
Thank you.
Alright, 10 minutes pass. You cast the spell.
And then I'm gonna just tell Paramore we can be confident that he won't overhear anything we're saying now.
He kind of lets out a deep breath, and he says, the reason I am suspicious, and I guess not veiling my thoughts nearly well enough. Can you read minds now, Aphra?
Me? I look super innocent.
Well, it's very rude to read people's minds, if you can. I try to stay well informed about what's going on in Saltmarsh, and I have been very busy, as you know, dealing with the Daggerford situation. Now that that's in hand, I'm able to sort of catch up on what's been going on in town. Kelladek has been much more active than normal. He's been working through agents to hire groups of, I don't know if I'd call them adventurers, but mercenaries, to do things for him. A lot of expeditions, a lot of exploration, a lot of information gathering. Go here for this MacGuffin, bring it back, that sort of thing. Also, he purchased many ships, it turns out, in the last several months. Normally, he leaves that sort of thing to me, so it does seem strange that he would feel the need to privately, and without any input from me, acquire a small fleet of ships. Nothing grand, only 4, but still, it's more than 0. And, well, I just have a bad feeling. Like the locals like to say, you got the hinky die-dies about Kelladek lately. Combined with my wife's, how do I put this, incredibly disturbing dreams and visions, my fur crawls beneath my skin, in anticipation of something horrible yet to come.
How loyal would you say you are to Kelladek?
Oof. We are business partners, and my unique nature makes me pretty hard to kill, but not too hard to kill if you're a powerful wizard. So, I would say I have a lot of respect for the man. As far as loyalties go, if he were to leave permanently, I would not cry. Perhaps a long sigh as I tried to find a new business partner trained in the arcane arts. I do worry that anyone who had their eye on Saltmarsh would definitely view our loss of an archmage as an opportunity to move in on us, but perhaps in the centuries since Keladek has been here, we have managed to grow up enough to fend for ourselves.
Do you think you could have agents sabotage his ships?
Ooh, moving against him would be very dangerous. Also, I don't know what the ships are for. I have managed to get a few of my men and women hired on as crew, and they're keeping their eyes and ears open. But, he's the sort of man that if you move against him, you need to be prepared to play out the entire game of dragon chess. There's no starting a match and then walking away from the table.
I understand that. Hope I'm quite interested in what your wife has to say.
Oh, then you shall hear it. And you look over at the door and see that she is standing there.
Good to see you again, Miss Brownwater.
I understand that things went well in Daggerford.
A lot of
Oh
things
yes.
seem.
And she kind of nods and smiles. That is good. That is very good. Now you are the keeper of souls, she says to Jenna.
Jenna nods.
Alas, another wayward soul is gone. They are drawn to you, like moths to a flame. Those poor wretches, your father, robbed of their humanity. I wonder if they can smell him on you, and that is what attracts them. Or perhaps it was just a coincidence.
Possibly.
But speaking of your father, happy birthday, Jenna. It's not your birthday, so you're not sure what she's talking about exactly. But
Jenna, it's your birthday? Happy birthday! Oh my god, wait, hold on, I got the perfect gift for you. And I go inside my family pack of holding, and I pull out the whole hair that I got from the flesh golem, and I give it to her. Jenna, happy birthday. I knew your birthday was coming up,
yeah,
and I thought you would like some hair.
yeah, you see Prime Water's nose slash snout like wrinkle up, and he kind of gags a little bit as you pull this rotting scalp out of your fanny pack.
Garuda, that's been in your bag for how many weeks now?
I don't know, time is kind of variant with me.
Yeah, it's not terribly rotten, like, because they cured the meat and the leather and all that jazz to make the golem, but it definitely has a stink to it. It definitely has a stink to it.
Yep.
Perhaps you should give that back to Captain Jenna when we are in a less enclosed space.
Yeah, just give it to me on the ship.
Okay, I'll hold it until we get back to the ship. Happy birthday again, Jenna.
Jenna is a woman now, of her people. Now we can see just what she's made of. And she kind of eyes you, and Aphra, you feel that she's eyeing Jenna in the way that you would eye like a particularly tasty like steak dinner kind of deal. Mm. And then she sort of turns her head and looks at you, Aphra, and says, I've been working on a painting. I think you'd like it very much. It's far too big for me to carry down the stairs. Would you join me in my gallery to see it? You can bring your friends. Well, I don't know if friends is a word that you feel comfortable using, but you can bring your allies. I mean you no harm. You did sleep under my roof. nothing ill befell you. Certainly nothing as bad as what's waiting for you with the promises you've made.
Yeah, that's maybe why I just don't know that I want to see it.
Hmm. I understand. You should not let fear control you.
Not afraid.
Hmm.
You're certainly acting like it.
Fine. We'll go see the painting. Fine.
It's not finished yet, but I do feel inspired. Perhaps I'll forego rest today and finish it up. I'll certainly let you know when it's done, so that you can see the final work. Hey, I trust you still have the dagger, or was it lost with the one who wields it?
I have it.
Hold on to that one. I've become very fond of this tiny anthill that my beloved cares so much for. It would be a shame to see it washed away. All right, so she kind of leads you up the creaky stairs, down the creaky hallway to her gallery. All right. As you enter, there's the feeling that some of the paintings were watching you guys enter. You know, some Harry Potter jams, some spooky stuff. She takes you to her painting area, and you see a very large canvas. And it is, as she says, incomplete, but I can still throw up what she has so far.
Huh. Well,
A-
that's not scary.
yeah, Aphra, your heart kind of beats faster as you look at the picture. And looking at the picture, you feel a little sleepy and very, very hungry. All right.
I'm
Does
gonna
anybody
look
have
around and
anyone have training in nature?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
All
no,
right.
I don't
No,
either.
no worries. No worries. Okay. She says, it will be done very soon, and then I will perhaps gift it to you. You can keep it with you always, and then when you wonder where your strength comes from, you can look no further. It will be like a window between you and she who hungers.
Um. Okay. I mean, I don't know that I need a window per se. I mean,
Hmm. Well, I can't actually recall why I asked you to come, Jenna. I
It
think
was something about a dream.
Hmm. And she kind of looks like dour for a second, and she says, "Oh yes, now I understand. You're so very much alive right now. That's why I didn't recognize you. I just wanted to tell you that you're on the right path, and do not be afraid. You will have a friend in me on the other side."
Can I answer her when she says other side?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Okay, okay. She crazy. Uh,
yep.
So, I mean, you're kind of left to your own devices. Other side could mean once you're dead. Other side could mean other side of whatever obstacles wait for you. Other side could mean you change teams. But either way, it seems like pretty, she seems pretty sincere about her nonsense.
I believe you are right. And I'm gracious for your friendship.
And she turns to Garuda and says, "Pretty bird, I understand you're afraid of ghosts."
No, yeah, not afraid. More of they could kill me. So, yeah.
My heart feels sorrow, for there are many ghosts yet to come.
Lady Primor, you didn't have to tell me that. I was going blissfully through the world, no issues whatsoever. Then you tell me there's more ghosts.
But forewarned is forearmed.
Thank you, Lady Primor. Hey, okay, it's a question. So, my friend Alvis gave me these bandages that help me protect against ghosts. And then Davius said he re-upped the spell on him, but he's dead now. I was wondering, can you re-up the spell on my bandages so I can be protected from ghosts more?
I lack such a skill, but a simple application of protection from good and evil, she kind of chuckles as she says that, should do the trick.
Oh,
Do you... Yes.
Go find someone who could do that. Because I don't think Jenna can. Because she's not good.
Pretty bird, would it be ever so impolite of me to ask for a few of your feathers?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll pluck out some. Here.
Okay.
You're like 5 of them.
She adorns her hair with them.
You look beautiful.
I have been told that all of my lives. So, I think I have some painting to do. You're welcome to stay, though I am quite shy painting before an audience. But I can have Felisa bring you fresh-baked cookies and brandied eggnog. I recall, ever so vaguely, it being a comfort on days such as these.
A generous offer, Lady Brightwater, but Garuda, why do we not go find a scroll on protection from good and evil, okay?
Oh, yeah, I like that
And
idea, Pietro.
clap on the shoulder to sort of like steer him towards the door.
Okay. She turns one last time to you, Pietro, and says, I'm very sorry that time has only hardened your stone heart rather than soften it. Perhaps someday you will find a puppy of your own, and your humanity will be rekindled. For now, though, you have obligations waiting for you at your drinking hole.
Pietro will nod at this and sort of continue shoving Garuda out the door.
Okay.
Oh, see, real quick.
Yeah.
Is everyone game to go save a kraken?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Then on the way out, Jenna will tell Mr. Primewater that she'll go help his friend.
Excellent. I'm sorry I dance around its name so much, but it doesn't like anyone to know it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't know it. Because every time I try to say it, I just keep saying the Kraken. But I feel like when I say it, the and Kraken are both capitalized. So there is that.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Imagine being, like, so tough that you're just the whatever. The wizard. No, maybe that wouldn't work. Alright. Good luck to you. I will inform our mutual friend that you are willing to take the job. Perhaps they will be able to assist in some way, though they are hesitant to get directly involved. There are concerns about the baby, after all.
Of course.
All right. So you guys head back out into the rain. Aphra, do you want to stick around, watch the painting of
I do not.
your patron? Oh, okay.
I do not.
All right. Back to Saltmarsh.
I would like to stop off at the faithful quartermasters of Joaquin, if that is possible.
Sure. Hold on a second.
And then I think there's some unfinished business for me at the Empty Net. And by me, I mean Pietro.
Yeah, Jenna would ask you, Pietro, would you like us to accompany you as you take care of your loose ends?
Do as you will, but I do not need the assistance. I will handle it, but you are all free persons, and you're welcome to come and go as you please.
Okay, I'm gonna post in the treasure the latest shop for these guys. This should be up to date.
Cool. Hey, they got a ring of mind shielding.
It's a popular item. All right, let me toss on some rain. Really sell this rain feeling.
No scrolls of good and evil.
I feel like we could maybe find a cleric that we could hire.
Probably has the
Not
spell.
a bad idea. We had talked about getting a proper cleric at one point.
All right.
As far as faithful quartermasters Joaquin, is there offer of buy 9 get the 10th free for basic potions still in play?
Yeah. If anything, they are more bold and confident than ever.
Cool.
Yeah. Aphra, are you there or no?
Yeah, I'd be there.
Okay. You feel as though the proprietor, Captain Zendros, the tiefling lady, is projecting. She's actually very scared and very nervous. But she is trying her best to appear confident and as if nothing is wrong. But you are the only inquisitive rogue across all of my games, so you are entitled to know almost everything that's going on.
I feel like that after the others have done their business and are starting to leave the shop, I would just kind of pull her aside and ask if there is anything we could do to assist. Because we have done so much business, and we value her and her people.
Okay, she is suspicious. Is this a deception or a persuasion?
No, this is a persuasion.
All right, give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Lovely.
The stress lines around her eyes and face, they kind of like melt away. She lets out a huge sigh and just almost sort of collapses onto the counter. She says, "It's real bad. It's really." Oh wait, sorry. Hold on. Accessing my database here. Oh yeah. Okay. She says, "It is really bad. It is very good that you have asked me this thing. I am too afraid to reach out for help, but the wizard Kelidak, he has threatened us many times. He has no fear of Joachim and her great works. He demands that we pay a king's ransom to continue operating in his city. His city is what he called it. I felt compelled by my goddess to come here and start this shop. I cannot believe that she would lead me astray in such a way. So, I stand against him, but he makes me very, very nervous. I have had to spend a great deal of personal wealth to protect this shop from his scrying eyes. But I dare not leave it. I am a prisoner in my own establishment. I worry that if I set foot outside that door, I will die. I had a third party approach him to perhaps test the waters. It seems now that agreeing is no longer on the table. His pride has been insulted. He views me and my shop and my faith as a stain that he must scrub away.
Well, we will go ahead.
I'm actually in the process of preparing to close down. Within 20 days, 2 weeks, I will probably close up shop if I'm still alive. It is a sadness to me, and perhaps will bring great disappointment to my goddess and disfavor to me. But I am selfish. I will not die for my beliefs. And she kind of starts crying a little bit as she says that.
Oh, I'll pat her on the back, and I'll say that this wizard has been a thorn in our sides as well. So, but we have a line on perhaps a means to I don't know, defeat him or intimidate him back. So, do your best to hold out a while longer. I believe within this 2-week period, we may be able to solve your, at least help with your difficulties, shall we say. But in the meantime, please do whatever you can to keep yourself safe.
Okay. She raises a inquiring eyebrow, but not wanting to be burdened with information of that sort. She does not ask any question.
The only thing I would follow up with is just if she can point out any individuals that she believes may be agents of Kelidak or anyone in the town that we should pay special attention to.
Kelodek is ancient, many centuries old, if not older. He has been in Saltmarsh all this time. It is rumored he has guards, thieves, peasants, fishermen, all on his payroll. He is not so arrogant as to discount the use of even the most simplest of people. In that way, I have become suspicious of every customer who enters. But my guardians, and she kind of motions around to the various golems and elementals, provided by my faith, deter any attacks directly upon my person.
Hmm.
Pietro, did you ask about a bag of holding?
Yeah.
They are a hot shit item. They currently the market price on a bag of holding is 4,000 gold. If anybody can even get a hold of one. If you want to put in an order for one, she could try to track you one down.
Um, I don't know if I really, out of character, I don't know if I really need one. Just after that crit card where all my shit got dumped on the deck, I feel like it might be
Oh, it's a
wise.
nice thing to have. It's a nice thing to have for sure. Hence the reason they're so popular. They are very dangerous to craft, though. There's a chance when you're making one that you just get sucked into the ethereal plane, lost forever. So it kind of dissuades a lot of people from trying to build them.
Let me do some quick math.
How much do you want one? I mean, how much money do you have?
I mean, I can cover most of it, and after this upcoming job, I'll probably be fine. It's just a matter of how much I want to set myself back. Um, yeah, we can clear it up. Would I need to put down a deposit for the bag of holding, since there is that desire and that potential risk?
Oh, for sure, for sure. She would like 500 up front to cover her stuff, and she does tell you, and at the time, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, because this
Yeah,
conversation happened before she and Aphra, that if
of
she
course.
doesn't have a bag available for you within 10 days, she will refund the money.
That's fair.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All
So
right.
I'll give her 500 gold as a down payment.
Okay. Okay. Now, after you leave, and Aphra chats her up with a 28 persuasion, comforts her when she cries, everything else like that, she does say, I would very much like to believe the words you say will come to pass. It is not much, but your very handsome, swashbuckling friend is looking for a bag of holding. Um, Here, give me a moment. And she kind of goes back into like the back room. She comes back and she hands you a Havard's haversack.
Aw.
She says, perhaps Joaquin has put you here to help me realize my great vision. I cannot gift this to you, but I will sell it to you for 1 copper piece.
Well, I will tell her that I cannot possibly accept it for that, but I will take it for 1 copper piece and a kiss on the cheek.
All right. Yeah. She blushes and leans down for the kiss, and hopefully not a dagger to the throat, because
Yeah.
for Sword Coast is a tough place. It's a tough place. All right, and she also hands you a sack with 500 gold, and says, and you may return this to him as well, with my blessing.
I will. Stay safe now, and I will sweep out of the shop.
Okay. All right. Back out on the streets. You guys are very close to your old hangout spot, the Empty Net.
I'll hand Pietro his gold back in the haversack, and
Okay.
just tell him, you just need to know how to negotiate, my friend. With big wink.
He'll have a very confused look on his face, like, I thought I was just paying the typical market rate. Okay, well, I will not complain. He'll take the money and the haversack and pull my stuff in there.
Okay. Yeah, haversack not. Some might argue not as good as a bag of holding. Some might argue better than a bag of holding. But it serves the same function. So. All right. This does have in platinum thread a big X, embellished and embroidered on it. So you take it to mean that this might have been her personal belonging.
Oh wow.
Aww.
Okay.
As we're leaving the shop, I would like to look around and see if I can see any like suspicious individuals watching the shop.
Oh, sure. With your class ability, you determine quite quickly that there's definitely a person sort of just sitting in the rain, looking like a hobo. Uh, they are pretending to be sort of asleep slash passed out in the rain, but are very much watching the comings and goings of the shop.
I'll probably go into the empty net, grab some food to go, plop down next to him, offer to share my food, and just kind of say, hey, so you seem to be pretty interested in this shop. I take it you are employed by a certain wizard in this area.
Okay. Yeah, the man who is just grease and mud and dirt looks at you with their one good eye and says,
I don't know no wizard, but I do get some food and coin to cover my drinking. Uh, to keep an eye on the place is all. It's just hard work, let me tell you. There's a lot of people coming and going, and a lot of weirdos too. Just
I
the other
bet.
day, there was a man, or a man-beast, wide and tall, a big fella, huge floppy ears, and had a tentacle growing out of his face, like nothing I'd ever seen before. You can bet I told on that one for sure. Thank you. Is this chicken?
and they kind of like dig into your to-go box.
Well, it's supposed to be chicken. It I just was wondering if you could do me a favor and maybe like don't report on some things that you see. And I'm not telling you to not do your job. By all means, please do your job.
Yeah.
Please tell everybody about
I'll
who's
have you
going
know
in.
I worked hard to get where I am in the world today. I worked
believe
very
you.
hard.
I believe you. But if you would if that lovely proprietress needs to leave her shop for any reason, I
Oh,
would say that
that's a no-no. She's definitely not supposed to do that.
yeah, I know. But if she needs to do that, if maybe you could just keep that to yourself. But the
Oh,
rest of it, oh, by all means, please.
uh,
And I'll say it's just
I
And
am getting paid.
And they look shrewd.
10
Yeah.
gold a week to keep an eye on this place. Eh, I mean, you're risking my livelihood here.
Yeah, 10 gold, huh? And I'm gonna say, well, I'll tell you what. Here is another 10 gold.
Oh.
And yeah, you just keep that. Any movement she may do, you just keep it to yourself. And another thing that I'll tell you, I'll just give you a little heads up about. I suspect that you're probably not going to get paid to do this for much longer.
Eh?
But if you help me out, I can make sure you do continue to get paid, even if the people you're working for aren't able to pay you anymore.
I've always been snooping. Snooping's what I do. I find it hard to believe that this tower of Saltmarsh ain't gonna need a good snoop.
Well, no, I know. Everyone needs a good snoop. I'm just saying the people you're snooping for are probably not going to be able to do much snooping in the future.
You could see his brain trying to keep up with this.
Uh, well, I'm good at snooping, so if anybody needs snooping, they're gonna come to me.
Okay. Would
They don't call me Jamie the Snoop for nothing.
The word "snoop" is being used so much in this conversation.
just okay. Here's 10
If
gold.
if
Just
Aphra
just
starts seeing steam coming out of his ears, you may need to stop.
Yeah, all these veiled threats about murdering his employees, they just keep going right over his head. And then Afra's like at a free throw like competition, or not, yeah, like competition. She just keeps trying to sink the basket, and it just keeps like whoosh, whoosh, like missing altogether.
I'm gonna take your money, and that makes us business partners. So, uh, I didn't see no red lady. I did see a big boy with a tentacle on his face.
okay. Okay.
And
All right.
honestly, Afra, you know a lot of shit. You have no idea what he's talking about. A big boy with a tentacle on his face.
I
Dude.
assume that he was drunk.
All right. All right. All right. He kind of settles into his little mud hole, and his one good eye peering out from his wax-treated hood as he kind of watches the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Your insight tells you that this man is at the top of the snooping game. The only one that could snoop better than him would be just about anyone else.
Yup.
Okay. You're confident that more than likely, if Kelladek is serious about keeping an eye on this woman, this guy is more than likely a physical reminder that she's being watched.
Yeah.
Whereas he probably has imps, closets, some kind of demon, elemental, invisible stalker, yada 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 yada. You start kind of
Yeah.
mentally cataloging all the crazy shit that could be in the area right now. Not to mention stuff that might just be hanging out on the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
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 All right. So while you're doing all this, the rest of you, as Aphra takes a chicken wing basket to go, and heads back into the pouring rain, you arrive at the empty net. All right. So, as you enter the empty nets, what are you gonna get up to?
I'm like stuck, Crash.
Are you stuck like in a wall or something?
Yeah, like
Oh, they locked you up with the ghost of Davian. Hold on. Boop,
thanks, dude.
boop. I didn't realize you guys were all still in the double with your secret meeting. There you go.
I thought the last time I heard was a huge animal fight.
Oh, the
Yeah.
chicken.
All right. As you guys walk in, you get mud and water everywhere. It's okay. The entrance is absolutely filthy. The whole place is filthy. It's just disgusting. Everybody gets hepatitis.
All the
As you
time.
go in, you see a familiar face sitting at the table playing cards. All right. You actually see a lot of familiar faces. Over here, Kreb Shanker sees you guys come in, and he gives you a big smile. Aphra, you learned by now that the smile is like, 60% real, which is pretty good for a guy in this industry. And he smiles broadly at you guys, and he says, "Well, look at that, the generous crew. Oh, to what do we owe this great honor?" Oh, I see.
All the
I'll
generous
just
crew.
Misty step right up to him for flair.
Oh, okay. Everybody kind of, oh. Yeah.
How you been, Crib?
Oh, well, it's been a whole thing. Fell in love. She's pretty well to do. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be in this game. Might get married. Might become an honest man. Yeah,
Jenna
I
just
know.
laughed.
I know.
I find that very hard to believe, Greg. No
Well,
offense.
that's because Kreb is well read. You guys all know the story of Nikolai, the thief from the Eastern Kingdoms who came to the Sword Coast to make his way as an honest man, leaving behind his criminal past. But within like a day, he was pulled back in. Every time he tried to get out of it, he couldn't. I don't know. Some people blame his cousin. Some people just blame bad luck. But in the end, when he tried to walk away from it all, the woman he loved was blown up by a fireball in the middle of the street. He went on a rampage after that, killed the people responsible, but he realized once you're in, you're never out.
Quite true.
And he pours out the rest of his shot onto the floor. For you, Nikolai. For you. So, I hear you're back in town. It's hard to not hear about it because your ship's so big. Everybody always talked about it. So, yeah, it's also I can see it like right out the fucking window. Even though it's like all the way on the other side of town. Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about a lucrative business opportunity. It involves your man Firewater, and let's just say something that doesn't have any bones.
Yes, we've
Any?
already met with Water, and
Oh,
we'd
damn!
like to hear your end.
I wonder
Feel
if I'm
free
even
to.
gonna get a finder's fee for this. Then that kind of sucks. Okay. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? He asked me to ask you, and then he just tells you anyways. Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
I might be able to offset your loss, Crab, if you could help me with a certain matter.
Oh, is the certain matter a man named Justin who was talking all kinds of shit about Lady Daggerford and what happened in Daggerford and
The one.
I see, I see. Yeah, we actually have that individual in, what do the guards like to say, custody. He hasn't been taken care of yet because he insists that you told him to come here and that you have his back. Boy, I'll tell you what, Pietro, you lost a lot of points with that one. Nobody likes a guy that backs a snitch.
I did not back him. It is his, how you say, snitching that has brought me here.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I got word pretty quick that there was some shit that went down at Daggerford, and I needed to make sure that anybody who was talking about Daggerford had the narrative in mind that there was an outbreak of a magical disease that's been taken care of, and a near-death experience has led Lady Daggerford to reevaluate all of her life choices. Am I wrong, or is that exactly what happened in Daggerford?
Oh no, you have it spot on.
Oh, okay, because it's crazy, because your boy Justin was talking about demons and devils and succubis and all sorts of crazy shit.
I will, if you will point me in his direction, I will sort this out.
Well, I thought it might be fun to have a little after-hours entertainment, and maybe you could decide what to do with them then. And you see him kind of look over at the fighting ring.
Pietro nods.
It's been a little while since we went full blood sport up in here, so I'm sure it'll draw a crowd. I will say this, I don't think the guy's very much of a fighter, especially not compared to you. So if you could, like, I don't know, make it last maybe a minute. I know that's asking for a lot, but, you know, if you just kill him right away, it's not much of a show, so... I mean, maybe you won't kill him. Maybe you'll surprise everybody, and you and your snitch brother can go on and snitch together all over the Sword Coast and the New World. And...
Ethan has a very dark look on his face at the mention of him being his brother. That fucker is not my brother.
Oh well, I mean, the way he told it, you guys were either lovers or brothers or something in between. He kept, the more we beat him, the more he kept calling out for you. It was very awkward.
I will take care of it.
All right. So Jenna, you want my take on things? Oh wow, I'm just flattered. My take is, my understanding of this is that this very powerful entity, was it Kraken? Is in some way partnered up with Prime Water, which is kind of nuts. But it certainly explains a lot about his success at sea, one might argue. So I don't know. The reason I said it was probably super lucrative is like if you could get in on that action. I mean, imagine being under the protection of like one of the biggest, baddest krakens in the area. Like, I mean, you already have that big dick ship, and you combine that with like, you know, some friendly sailing protection from boss of the deeps. I mean, that's pretty big. It's pretty big.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, that being said, I don't really want to say too much more about it because a creature of that power probably has powerful enemies, and I don't really want to be the guy who's talking any kind of shit one way or the other out in the open. And he just kind of looks around at the establishment.
We could talk in private. I can ensure it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Why don't we do the double-double?
I'm gonna say meet me there in 10 minutes. And I'm gonna head to the
Alright.
double-double and start
Okay.
casting Private Sanction.
Alright, it's
I'm assuming Krebs spotted the money left on the counter for him.
what money? Wink.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. You guys head to the double-double. It's in the back. I don't know. You should be able to get to it. It's just very dark back there. Let's
It's real dark.
throw a torch down for you. Yeah, so Aphra, I think at this point you would probably be done with your hobo and probably returning at this point. Okay. As you are walking by, this crazy prostitute who frequents the docks here, she kind of reaches out to grab at you as you go by. By now, I think you are too slick to be grabbed, but go ahead and give me an acrobatics check just to make sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You easily kind of pull to the side, and the woman looks up at you, her eyes shining in the gloom of the afternoon rain, and she says, "Aren't you hungry? You're hungry, aren't you?"
I'm so hungry. There's a hunger that I can't stop anymore.
Uh, and she kind of like raises her hand and slowly puts it in her mouth, and you hear a horrible crunching sound as she bites off 3 of her fingertips and begins to eat them. She waves the bloody stumps of her fingers at you, blood spraying into the rain, and she says,
Don't worry. We'll all feast soon.
and then she just sort of starts maniacally laughing and slithers along the dock and then splashes into the water.
You get all kinds here.
That's your takeaway?
All right, so Aphra, you return.
Yep.
Moonshine does crazy shit to some people.
Okay.
I'm just saying, her hand jobs better be half off now.
Maybe a third. All right. So at this point, Canadia, are you ready, or do you still need more time? I'm gonna ask 2 different questions. I'm gonna drop the second part. Are you ready? Period. There we go. Evil genie.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Aphra, as you step in, you sense a shadow looming. Shadow, you saw this whole thing go down ahead of you, and then you saw this tiny woman just kind of shrug and keep walking after witnessing such a horror. The small woman, despite being small, is her presence kind of blocks the double doors as she and her strange dinosaur take stock of the room. Let me go ahead and grab you and push you on the map. Hold on a second. All right. All right. There we go. All right. So, Aphra, you do like the rogue turn where you don't turn all the way around, but you kind of, let the cowl of your hood conceal, but you look back and you see this beef-ass motherfucker. I don't think that's the pose he's in when you see him, because, it's raining. Yeah, I hope he doesn't always look like that, because Dritz Stewart and Civil Rights Movement or not, that's an easy way to get shot by the guards. Just saying. Yeah. I think anybody of any species going around with that gesture and face would probably garner some attacks from the guards. But yeah, you see this beef-ass dude behind you. These creatures are normally bigger and meaner and more savage, but in recent years there has been a rise of what some people, very racist people, would call the domesticated minotaurs. Minotaurs who have turned away from Baphomet and their demon-worshipping culture of violence and tried to, become a bit more civilized. So there are communities of these creatures throughout Toril that have sort of turned away from those violent teachings and ways, and apparently that has caused them to become Jeremy Crawford medium instead of Big Boy Large. But on the bright side, they don't tear the flesh from their opponent's throats and eat them mid-battle after goring another opponent all the way through with their horns and spilling their intestines everywhere. So, pros and cons. Pros and cons. All right, those of you inside, you might see this creature looming behind Aphra and Willie as they enter the establishment.
Does he look threatening?
Do you look threatening, Larionis? Oh, he's muted again. I don't know. Maybe he can hear us, maybe he can't. I'm gonna opt with...
1 sec, head timing.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with he's not trying to look threatening.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Are you looking threatening or no?
No. He would be more looking like he's peering amongst the crowd, clearly searching for something.
Okay.
And completely dismissing anybody who's not who he's looking for.
All right. There's a guy behind the bar who looks like he smiles way too much. And he says, hey there, friends. Hail and well met. Welcome to the Empty Net. Come on in from the rain.
Yeah. I will stride forward.
Yeah, today, this weather. Today's special is chicken wings, and you see that very subtly he is erasing from the chalkboard cheeseburger.
I'm going to, under my breath, just mutter something to the effect of, like, Baphomet, save me from these fools. And, yeah. And again, gonna be peering around, and then loudly just proclaim to the red one who spoke to me, like half across the room.
Mm.
I'm told Lowthorn's ship docked here.
Okay,
Where is
Krebs
she?
does a very good job of not recognizing that name at all. He says, I don't know the name. A lot of ships come in here, friend. Why don't you sit down and get a drink? And maybe whoever you're looking for will find you.
And at that, Aphra would kind of like walk up to him, like she's just actually kind of walk past him, but then kind of whip around, and there's like she's got her arm around his neck, and
Oh,
there's
jeez.
shadow blade poking into his gut. And I'm gonna say,
Okay.
why don't you come with me?
Oh,
And,
Bravik.
Do I see this?
I think Jenna would be at the tail end of setting up her secret cone of silence room. So yeah, I mean, if everybody's still out here, they would see it.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone gets real quiet and kind of turns. It's a little early in the day for fighting. And
What?
Krebs says,
No, it's not.
oh, okay. I guess you guys know each other. Hey, why not everybody take a table, right? And we'll figure out whoever this person is you're looking for. There's no need for violence, right? Everybody?
I mean, I was trying to be subtle.
Here. Shoo away. Let's all just sit down at the table. Let's just all sit down at the table. There you go. Yeah, we're taking chairs out. We're bringing over some wings, some Frenchies. I don't even know what that means, but they're fried potatoes. Yeah, we're bringing them over. Let's do this. Everybody just sit down. Tits, come on, bring some ale over here. They're having a little business meeting. They're just meeting each other. That's nice. There you go. I am so sorry, friend. I don't want you to think that in the town of Saltmarsh, individuals such as yourself would ever be assaulted in a fine establishment such as this. He says as he walks through a pile of half-dried vomit. Here, please. Just take a seat at the table. I don't know who a Lowthorn is, but you know what? I know someone who might. Why don't I go ask in the back if anybody knows that person? How's that sound?
So Gravik will, I mean, if Aphra moves to the table, he'll go with. But yeah, I can't move my token unfortunately with the way things are. So
Oh, sure. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Jenna, you're almost at the end of the spell. There's a knock at the door. Do you just keep going to finish it? You got like 1 minute left.
Yeah, I'm finishing the spell. I told
Okay.
her maybe in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know you said 10 minutes, and you're trancing out right now, doing some wizrobe shit, so I don't know if you could even hear the words that I'm saying. But there's a really big-ass minotaur. He's in armor. He looks super mean, and he's looking for you. So I would just ask, if you use magic, you please don't break any of my stuff, right? This is a quality establishment, all right? And it suffers enough. I don't need it blown up by magic.
Yeah, I don't know if I can I communicate while casting a spell?
Well, you're doing a ritual. You can do nothing else. You cannot stop doing the ritual till it's finished.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't communicate then.
Okay. He's like.
I will hold
like,
up like a finger, like 1 minute, like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll try to keep him from killing everyone for 1 minute. So just come out when you're ready. All right. And he comes back out and he says, you know what? Someone's going to come out any second now and address all your concerns. Everybody. That's great. All right. Why don't you guys exchange pleasantries? Pietro, you are just one of the most gregarious fellas. Why don't you just find out where our friend is from and why he's here and what he needs? And I'm going to tend the bar.
Willie's gonna loom over his shoulder, maybe drool on him a little bit.
Okay.
Slick pant in his ear.
Okay. Gravik, you are familiar with all manner of monsters and creatures. In your homeland, they are everywhere, used as beasts of burden and creatures of war. You've never seen such a strange beast as this.
I mean, Gravik will immediately assess Willie and try to mentally calculate how many steaks he can carve from
Oh God, so many
Yeah.
steaks. He seems very chubby, so more than likely they're gonna be like real like sweet meat, like they've been stewing in some fat rolls for a while.
Also,
Inquisitive
and I hate to
Rogue.
say this,
Yeah, you kind of catch that feels.
I also hate to say this, but Garuda, to the newcomer, you smell delicious.
Pietro will turn to Aphra and give her a look and say, "Should I ask the questions, or would you like to do the honors?"
You can ask. I'm otherwise occupied.
Fair enough.
Do you still have a shadow blade pointing at my gut?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, friend, what brings you to these parts? Let's start with something simple like that. Yes?
I'm here to serve my mistress.
And what mistress might that be? There's so many lords and ladies and other parties that demand fealty in these parts.
Can we see their ship from where we're sitting? In the dock?
It's big enough that yeah, from this bluff that the not bluff, excuse me, but from this southern docks that this is located at, you could see sort of the mid area where the ship is. Yeah, the ship is definitely big enough that you can see it from here.
Yeah, okay, so Gravik's gonna point, like, not a thing. Well, they have fingers. I don't know. He's gonna just point a big beefy finger right at your guys' ship, and he's gonna go, I'm told she captains that vessel.
your mistress, you're saying that Jenna the Generous holds your fealty?
Lady Jenna Lowthorn.
And how did you meet exactly?
That is a good question. Do tell.
I am her guardian.
You say you're Jenna's
You,
guardian?
you didn't happen to be assigned to be her guardian by a evil-looking bald man who's ugly as fuck, did you?
So Gravik, he just described all the male Thayan wizards in the country, yeah, in the nation of Thay.
Yeah. I mean, it's also describing the one, yeah. So he'll just kind of, oh, I'm gonna do my thing from earlier. Yes.
Can I do a perception check to see who's all watching us right now?
Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely, by now, you know, luck of the draw well enough that you do see a telltale ear tilt. Where radar dish now aimed over at your table.
I'm guessing the entire place is probably watching us.
Jenna walks out from the back, and when she sees Gravik, she just kind of like rushes up to him. What are you doing here?
Wait, you know this guy?
Upon seeing Jenna, Gravik is going to stand, like at full height, 6'5", 300 pounds of him, and I don't know what this will look like to Aphra, but he's immediately going to bend down and basically bear hug Jenna.
I mean, I know Jenna well enough that if she doesn't want to be bear hugged, she won't be bear hugged. So.
Very true. Yeah, Jenna kind of just like accepts it, and she's like, "Come back here. We can speak privately."
He'll immediately set her down and follow.
You all should
Damn.
come as well, she says to the rest.
All right, Kreb looks at you with a look like you need more time.
Jenna kind of like waves him along, like,
Oh.
you can come too.
Okay.
Aphra just pouts a little bit and lets her shadow blade go.
All right, he puts Tits and Tyweir in charge of the establishment and goes back to meet with you guys.
I start walking back there, then realize I forget the french fries, so I go back and grab them, and then I go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Willie can't fit through the door.
There's a creaking of wood and then the sound of a champagne bottle opening as Willie makes his way in.
Pietro has to sort of push him with his boot to get him through.
All
I
right.
don't think Willie had to be here for this, but it's
Gravik will, he'll position himself by the door as if guarding the one entrance into the room.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a window. There's a window right here, but
Oh, he'll have his eye on the window.
okay.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pietro would have also stood by the door, and he's just sort of gonna stare off against Gravik.
All right. Kreb goes to sit by the window with his back to the wall, and he watches these two beef boys guard the door with a big smile on his face. He's like, I need to get some beefy boys. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tits McGee's pretty beefy, but, I mean, I think it's really just reputation that keeps the place from completely, like, falling apart. You know, a couple beefy boys, I don't know, maybe that's overcompensation, though. I feel like if you gotta have beefy boys, it's like you're trying to say something, you know? Like, if you go into an establishment and there's no beefy boys, I feel like you'd be more worried than if there were beefy boys, right?
Sure.
It exudes
It
confidence.
depends on the reputation of the place, as you say.
So rep is better than beef. I got you. Okay. Well, Okay. So now we can talk in a little bit more privacy. Um, yeah. So, from what I understand, and I don't understand too much about what's going on here. There's a lot of cultists in the area. Not just like normal cultists, like different flavors of cultists. Now I get it, you're a cult because your religion's so weird, and it's not a normally practiced thing, blah 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 blah. But I mean, we've had like human trafficking, we've had like human sacrifice, we've had like weird stuff going on. Um, So, from what I understand, a quote unquote cult has stolen this baby kraken. But it kind of seems like a weird thing to do for a cult, you know? But at the same time, who can really understand the thought process that these people have, you know? So,
Also, seems like a very dangerous thing for a cult to do. You know?
right? Like, cult is usually kind of small, right? They get up to some, low-level shenanigans if we're putting like a rating on it. Uh, it just doesn't seem like it seems like if you're at that level where you're going toe to toe with one of the strongest entities in the region, I feel like you would have to be either equally strong, stronger, or backed by such an individual. And he puts a finger to his nose as if to be like, this guy, so fucking smart. I don't know how helpful that is because I figure you probably already figured that yourself, but I don't know. But locally, with you guys taking care of Daggerford, the only people I could think of that would be on that guy's level or girl, I don't know how Krakens work. So it could be this is the obvious one. Could be Keladek, right? He's crazy strong. And from what I understand, and through jobs that I have been hiring for, he has definitely, been busy lately. I haven't actually passed any of these jobs along to you because, well, yeah, uh, Geledick doesn't handle other wizards very well, so I tried to keep you as far away from him as possible there, Jenna. I mean, not because I'm like sweet on you or anything, and I was worried about you because that's crazy. But like other reasons, because obviously I'm in love and I'm gonna get married and all that jazz, so and get out of the game. But I mean, that being said, if you were into redheads with a lot of chest hair, great teeth, an amazing smile, they could play the lute, were good at gambling, maybe own their own business. I mean, I'm just saying, I know a guy. I know a guy.
Gravik roars at this point, like big bellowing roar, and he's like, "Stop your nattering, human! Jenna, I come to warn you. Your father, he knows where you are."
Oh.
Pietro's going to step forward and sort of put a hand on Gravik's chest and say, "Hey, big fella, why don't you sit down, calm down? You're kind of old news. Just take it down a notch."
Is this happening? Is this
He's gonna narrow his eyes at Pietro.
Gravik, please, I'll entertain you shortly. Just I have business to take care of.
Entertain.
Don't mind.
Garuda, it's like a noble person way of saying, I'll talk to you. She's not actually gonna juggle or anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he as soon as Jenna says that, he just like seems to be completely more complacent and just waiting out whatever discussions have to happen.
Okay, so Keladek is an obvious suspect, but the realms are big. Sword Coast is a dangerous place. Could be other people, but I have gotten a request for aid from my merfolk contacts. Apparently, they're dealing with a lot of shit down there. So maybe they know more. Maybe it's like a undersea Keladek or undersea bad guy. Maybe it's a rival Kraken. They have lots of cultist Krakens, dude. on account of them being his like living gods or whatever.
So these
Crap.
jobs that Kelidek has been having you hand out,
Mhm.
any common threads that you can think of?
Honestly, a lot of them involve the same sort of research that crazy old guy, what's his name? Um, Elm Bacon. No. Oakham. Oakham?
Mm.
Yeah. You guys
Oh,
familiar with that
the
guy?
old guy.
Well,
I'm so familiar with that
he's
guy.
like a retired sage, and he's like obsessed with like the history of Saltmarsh and the region or whatever. That guy has also been hiring a lot of people, but he wasn't going through me. He was, so he was really just picking up the scraps, because there's the quest board, and then there's me. You know what I'm saying? I've got the real jobs. The quest board, that's for babies. That's baby stuff. But anyways, yeah, I like investigating ruins, tracking down weird eldritch artifacts, that sort of thing. There was a island off the coast. He needed some people to go and check it out. Apparently, recover some sort of artifact or something, that sort of thing.
Is it
Yeah.
perhaps the same island that the Kraken is on?
I mean, in the same chain of islands, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real speck, this island. Like, there's enough room for, like, a fort, and that's about it. Kind of like the lighthouse you guys went to. Which, to hear your crew talk, that place is looking pretty, what's a good word here? Posh.
That's the goal.
I mean, posh by your crew standards, so, who knows what that means. Yeah, so that's pretty much my take on it. Sorry it's not more useful. But if you want to go meet with some mermaid royalty, you were definitely my top 3 picks of people to send down there to try to help them out. I mean, I have to be very careful with my mermaid contacts because 1, mermaids is hot. 2, it's a whole new world down there under the ocean. So I want to make sure that I'm repping the town and my species very well, right? I don't just want to send anybody down there. Because 3, they're an incredibly useful contact because again, it's a whole nother world down there, and they're kind of like my information network to know what's going on below the ocean. I can't say under the sea because apparently it's a trademark. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we'll have time to meet with them. I do want something of you. I want to basically know everything Kellerdick's doing, and I want to hire people to watch him.
Whoa.
I think you're the guy for that.
Whoa. You understand that this guy is like, he is the blackened heart of this city, right? While Ida is obviously the public, grandma heart of the city, like, Kellerdick is the heart of the city. I mean, he's got that tower. He watches everybody. He's super powerful. He's got fingers in every pie.
Well, I think it's time I start putting my fingers in the pies.
Oh, okay. He kind of blushes when you say that. Alright. Here's the thing. From what I understand, you guys have gotten up to some pretty big dick shenanigans. I need you to make me confident that if you start trying to take this guy down, you're able to finish what you started. Because he will have no compunctions about destroying every single one of us. And anybody he thinks that was complicit or I don't know, in on it? Maybe those are the same words. Whatever. Collaborators? Yeah. I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
like, there's no running from an archmage, right?
if we get a Kraken on our side, I mean,
Hmm.
How familiar are you with Fae?
He's gonna roll a history check. I mean, it's a nation of evil wizards. They have the largest undead army in the entire world. And for that very reason, they get to do whatever they want and nobody questions it.
My
Is that a
father,
pretty good summation?
yeah, my father is one of the Zolkir.
Okay. He does a pretty good job of pretending he. No, actually, he kind of did bad on that deception. Yeah. It looks like he may have already known that.
Interesting. Well, if you're looking for confidence, I don't know what more confidence I could give you than I'm backed by some of the most powerful wizards in the world.
Hmm. Are you? Hmm. Are you backed in a we're not going to stop you? Or are you backed in a we're gonna gate in a bunch of like powerful monsters to assist you? Because there's a big difference between those two kinds of backings. Like I back you guys, but if you guys were in a pickle, I wouldn't send all the mercs in my employ to help you out. I just would be like, go team.
I don't know what more confidence I could give you.
Ugh. Tell you what, you you gain the favor of this Kraken, and you gain my 100% support. I will be your man around town. Because if you could somehow pull this shit off, on top of all the other shit you pulled off, I will be a true believer.
Sounds good. We'll see you when we return. Young Kraken saved.
Okay. If any of you have the ability to like accurately and quickly draw what one looks like when you find it, I am so curious.
I think we established I'm like an artist, right?
Yeah, like he kind of like
Absolutely.
he takes his knife and he starts like carving into the table, and he's like, because I kind of pictured it would be like a big round head, right, and like two big cute eyeballs, and you know a bunch of little legs or whatever. I don't know. They're like an octopus, but they're also a squid. I don't remember how many legs they get. Are they arms, legs, whatever? But what I think they might have, and this is just a weird idea, is a weird like suction cup like tube on their face. Is that weird? So it kind of looks like that.
We'll find out.
Crab, I think you just scratched a penis into your table.
No, hey, look, Pietro, if your penis looks like this, you need to go see a doctor, or a priest, or a priest.
No, he does not look like that. But
Okay.
that does not look like any Kraken that I have ever seen. I
That's
have
because
seen at
it's a
least one.
baby, right? I mean, every Kraken looks different, except for the tentacles. At least that's what they say. Hmm. All right. If you don't need me anymore, I do have business to run. I can leave you to catch up with old friends.
Please do.
All right.
Let's
And
maintain
Crab-
discretion.
As Crab goes to leave,
Oh.
Bravik will do the whole like finger in his chest
Mm-hmm.
and like lean down and whisper as a minotaur does.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the last one doubted that Jenna could pull something off. I pulled his arms out and beat him to death with them.
Mm. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, give me an intimidate
Do
check.
not doubt what Jenna can. Right. Ooh. That's that one.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
God.
Yeah. He pales. He pales quite a bit. He rolled pretty good on his opposed intimidate check, but not a 25. He does a dry swallow, and he says, "I have nothing but love for your lady."
Pietro's going to reach out a hand and he's going to put it on Gravic's wrist and say, "Hold on a moment. We like this one. Take about 30 to 40% off, my friend."
Gravic will like he'll let Kreb pass because
Okay.
clearly Jenna was letting him go, but as soon as Kreb's gone, Gravic will mutter like so. Well, I mean, in a room this small, everyone probably hears him muttering how red furs can't be trusted.
Mm.
Red is a bad color.
Aphra nods sagely. They have no shovels.
Okay, you guys have the room. What do you do now?
That's something I need to know. If we're going to fight something underwater, does my guns work underwater?
I thought we'd already covered this question.
Well, the
Yeah, we've
magical
got
guns.
magical guns now.
Yeah.
Magical guns will work underwater.
Okay, dope.
That's part of why they're so much more expensive to make.
Yeah, okay, dope. As long as they work underwater, I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go find the baby kraken. Or
So Jenna will look at Gravic and explain to everyone. Gravic is a friend of mine from my homeland.
you have friends?
Aphra's doing that thing where, like, she's jealous, but she's trying not to be jealous because, like, I'm the best friend. like when your college friends meet your high school friends.
I mean, I'm just saying this party only has room for one animal.
There's so much going on here. There's the friend dynamic with Aphra and Gravic. There's the brute dynamic with Pietro and Gravic, and now there's the animal dynamic with Gravic and Gravic.
The best is that like.
And then there's the boy that has a crush dealing with the overprotective brother-father figure. Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like, while Gravic is like completely aware of it all, he's got a stupid high insight too. He is uncaring about any of the social awkwardness of it because he's just a bodyguard in his mind, and everything he's doing is to make sure. Well, he will follow any order Jenna gives, but in absence of orders, he's just there to protect her. So.
So, like, is he like half was Jenna or like?
No.
Did you ask if he was half horse?
No, like half. What did I say? The guy was like a zombie or something. I wasn't sure. I didn't really get a chance to talk to him.
He's
Greg, what are you doing here?
I escaped after I was caught helping you. I was imprisoned. Escaped about a year ago. Came to find you. Came to warn you.
I've met with my father.
You guys would see Gravic's like ears would go down as if in fear, but his mouth is like scowling in anger. But like just in hearing that your father obviously managed to contact you, he found you.
He's
And,
offered me the power not to fear him anymore.
Gravik nods. Power is good. What can I do? I am here to serve.
Be my shield.
He just nods and, yeah, like, otherwise just stands waiting.
So you guys ready to save a kraken?
Yes, but I do want to do one thing first before we leave. I would like to go sell my weapons. If Aphra, you will help me with that.
Sure.
And
And go ahead, Bruto.
I was gonna say, Pietro, just come true because I need muscle.
Did we make some kind of deal with dwarves? Am I remembering that? Or we didn't actually help them or something? I'm confused. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
The dwarves. I think it was dwarves, maybe halflings. I'm not for
I don't
sure.
think
when it
we've
comes to
ever helped
weapons.
the dwarves.
Dwarves had a haunted mine, but they finally managed to get that taken care of. But they are now experiencing an infestation of strange creatures that were sealed away in ruins beneath the haunted mines. It's a very Diablo situation over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Maybe we should stay away from
that's
that.
the industry term for it. Is when one dungeon unearths another dungeon, and there's dungeons all the way down to hell, baby. Yeah,
So
it happens more often than you think.
Dungeons all the way down.
Mm-hmm. Though I guess in Faerun you'd hit the Underdark before you hit hell, but it'd be a long way to get to the other side of the planet, that's for sure.
Alright, well, I believe Pietro has to cover up some loose ends, and we could get this taken care of and check and see how long the repairs are needed on the ship. I'll cast a sending to Bloody Bjorn and
Okay.
ask him about an update for
Or you
the
could just
ship.
go into the main.
Yeah, he's literally having lunch right now, right outside.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
It's been a stressful time, okay? God, he's
No,
he's delegating like a good leader.
I didn't expect him to do the repairs himself.
Right.
I trust he's got it taken care of. But yeah, if
Okay.
he's just right outside, she won't cast a sending and she'll just go outside and talk.
Oh, okay. He looks
You're
over
not
you.
sure you want to impress people anymore?
Well, sending is just to your mind, so I don't think it would really impress anybody
okay.
so much as Bloody Bjorn would be like, this lady right here. Come on now.
Always micromanaging. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
As you walk out of your secret meeting, Bloody Bjorn is in the process of leaving some coin for his meal and heading out back into the rain. And he says, Captain.
You open up the door.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm tinkering with other stuff behind the scenes right now. Boop.
No, you're trapped.
I closed the door to give you a sense of safety and comfort.
Good.
Yeah.
It was good.
All right.
Would you like to play a game?
All right. Yeah. So Bjorn, he definitely, turns to you and says, "Hey, Captain."
We may be leaving soon. Any word on the repairs?
We're gonna need, they're not too bad. It's less the repairs and more trying to find, more crew. I'd say, best case, 3 days. Maybe 2. We'll have to be seeing how things turn out. If we're willing to cut corners, we could leave not tomorrow, but the morning after.
Do what's necessary to ensure we leave then.
All right. And he kind of heads out. Okay. Anybody stick around to watch the Pietro versus Justin fight of the century?
Oh yeah, I'll watch that.
Okay.
Kravik would like to watch it if Jenna is there.
Yeah, Jenna's gonna watch it.
Okay.
Pietro would pull Kreb aside to have a private word and say, you said you wanted the fight to last as long as possible. I assume there's going to be some bad things involved.
Yeah, of course there is. I mean, the betting is not, good unless you plan to throw the match. I mean, the odds are heavily stacked in your favor. Most people will realize that a man in your industry would sooner die than spare or be beaten by a man like that. So, but yeah, I mean, if you want to make a little bit of coin, you could certainly throw some money in there. Or do you plan to throw the match? And you see his eyebrows start wiggling.
No, my honor does not permit it at this point.
Mm. Yeah, all right. Thought I'd ask.
But Pietro will take out a couple hundred gold coin and he'll pass it to Kreb and say, "Bet that for me as you see fit." If you
All right. Yeah. 200 gold. Ew. All right. Hold on a second. Yeah. You turn around ain't gonna be so hot. You might be able to. Yeah, I think you're gonna make 10 gold off of this. But hey, it's 10 more gold than you had before.
that
All
is
right. Alrighty. So anyone else have any other business that they need to attend to before?
Well, not before the fight, but
Okay.
during. Aphra would kind of take a couple of fortifying shots, and then head out to go talk to her arch nemesis Oakham.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's take you to the map real quick. Before the fight, you're gonna go
Oh,
talk to Oakham?
kind of during. So we can do the
Oh,
fight first if you'd like.
I mean the fight's gonna be pretty late at night because they're blood
Oh,
spurted.
okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Well,
Oakham, he's
then.
old man. He generally
Yeah.
gets to bed early if he can.
Yeah.
Because he's an early riser. So, do you still want to go talk to him or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you back to the main page. No, we'll go over to Saltmarsh page. There you go. All right. So, you head over to Oakham's house. Okay. Um, it's late afternoon at this point. Still raining. As you arrive, Oakham, you knock. Do you knock on the door like a civilized person, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
you know
Uh,
Kool-Aid Man needed.
Yeah. Oakham
I do not.
answers the door, but he doesn't open it all the way. He kind of opens it and it peers out, and he says, "Hey, who's out there?" And he kind of looks around, and then he has to look down because you're pseudo halfling, and he sees you, and his face is undisguised disappointment at seeing you, and he's
What?
like, and he's like, "Oh, it's you. Uh, how are things?" And he doesn't open the door all the way. He just kind of says this through a crack in the door.
Things are fine.
Have you come to gloat?
Actually, no. I have come to ask for your help.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You can see he's like emotionally constipated. He's trying to pass this emotional bowel movement. And he's like,
Aphra was just as constipated saying that.
yeah.
So it was like prune whiskey or something like that that you kicked off
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
Don't think that I didn't do some follow up on you, young lady.
Is Oakham that guy we saved?
Yeah.
Why'd we save him? Go on.
Because there was
Don't
more money involved if we did.
Oh, okay.
don't think I didn't look you up afterwards. All that dismissiveness of my abilities and the curiousness over the ruins in my study. I wouldn't be surprised if you were in on it with that Kelladek.
I am not in on it with that Kelladek. I am, in fact, trying to stop that Kelladek. That is why I am here.
All right, he's gonna roll a insane insight check on you, you big fat liar who works for Kelladek. All right, what do you got for me? Persuasion or deception?
Well, I guess it's going to have to be persuasion, because I'm
Okay.
actually not lying about that. For
All right.
once.
For once.
I tried to make the argument as a bard that I should just use deception for everything because I'm lying about being persuasive. The DM told me to shut up. So, yeah. All
Was that
right.
also the response where you're like, I would like to seduce the BBEG?
I had the BBEG seduced yesterday. It turned out very nice, actually.
Oh, good.
All right. So Oakham, he rolled really good against Willie's persuasion check, and he's like,
Oh.
no, it's all good, it's all good. And he's like,
Eh, all right. Why don't you come in out of the rain? Please keep it down. My niece is recovering from her injuries.
I will come in.
all
I will
right,
stand uncomfortably in a corner.
okay. He's got a small little house that he shares with his niece. He heads over to a door and he closes it. But before he does, you can see the beautiful face of his niece is badly bruised. There are lacerations and there are a tremendous amount of bandages around her throat.
Oh. Well, that I am very slightly sad about.
Okay, and so he returns to you and he says,
Yes, she was injured during the break-in. They cut her throat, left her for dead.
Oh, damn.
he
That's
looks around his small house and he says,
There was a break-in. The only things they stole were my research.
yeah. That Kelladek, he's after something.
You think it was Kelladek too?
Well, obviously it was Kelladek.
No. The authorities told me it was cultists.
The cultists work for Kelladek.
Oh, yeah. That sort of checks out, I guess.
So, what were you researching? What did you have?
I was researching the history of Saltmarsh and the region, the lizard swamps, Dunwater, all of that.
Yes, is there any particular location of interest that you had found?
he kind of looks at you like, you fucking millennial, you amateur, you don't know what it's like to be a big brain badass like me. Mm-mm-mm. But he keeps it all inside. He doesn't gloat. And he says,
Well, unlike some people who get distracted from their true calling, I've done nothing but research the region. So, yeah, what was the question again?
Was there any particular location that you had
Oh,
recently become aware of?
yes, yes. So it turns out that long ago, Saltmarsh wasn't doing so hot. When the first settlers came here and tried to make a go of things, they pretty much just set up an all-you-could-eat humans buffet. They were preyed upon by creatures from the sea, from the forests, and from the swamps.
Yes,
They were,
yes. Cliff Notes version, please.
well, they got desperate for help. They called out to the gods for assistance. The gods ignored them. Even Umberly, the bitch queen. But someone did hear their prayers for help. And that someone is she who hungers in the deep. Yes. The early settlers of Saltmarsh began to worship her, and in doing so, they would feed her the souls of human sacrifices. But eventually, her taste for human souls waned, and they were forced to begin capturing creatures of the sea. They found the merfolk to be the easiest ones to capture, and even kept some as slaves, raising them in captivity and sacrificing them as needed to keep her blessings.
Yes, yes.
Yes, well, all of this business, eventually, people started to talk, and they said that we need to be careful, or adventurers are going to come and put us down. So they built a temple, as it were, under the city, in the hard stone of the Sword Coast. They even contracted the dwarves from the nearby mountains and hills to come to the coast to do this with the bountiful wealth they had gained from their blessings. The dwarves constructed a complex, as it were, where they could perform their fell rites and sacrifices. Anyways, what basically transpired is she who hungers was soon full, and sent visions to her priests to store the remaining sacrifices for a time when she would need them, a time when she would wake. So they built a prison, and as they continued their sacrifices, the souls, instead of being sent to she who hungers, were instead sent into this prison, a soul prison, right beneath our feet.
Yeah, that's probably what Killideck wants. So you should probably tell me how to get in.
Oh, I haven't really figured that part out yet, but I was
Of course you
thinking it's
haven't.
probably mixed up. It's probably mixed up with the issues the dwarves keep having with the mines. Cause you see, what's her name? Copper Pot, Copper Locks. She's a descendant of the dwarves who originally were hired to build the complex. She came here to reclaim what she felt was her family's property. And she's had a terrible run of luck since she did so.
Mm-hmm.
I think the universe has cursed her for the crimes of her family's past.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But think about it this way. First, her mind had spooky ghosts. And now it's got quote-unquote unnamed horrors. And they keep finding more shit, excuse my language, underneath the mines. The heroes that she hired, they detonated some explosives and revealed an entrance to a complex of ruins. And these adventurers, they took one look inside and they said, nope.
Mm-hmm.
The
Low-level
dwarves tried to
adventurers.
seal the ruins back up, but the creatures that dwell in them keep crawling through the stones.
And what kind of creatures have they seen?
They just describe them as unnameable horrors that drive you insane. It seems pretty standard Eldritch horror stuff.
Okay.
And that's
All right.
why, and he points to his long, pointy nose, that's why I think the ruins must lead to the soul prison. And he kind of like smooths back his eyebrows, because holy shit, did he just drop a big one on you?
Yeah, I'd kind of already figured that out. I was hoping for more info.
Well,
Like,
there's
how do
also
we get in? And
I mean,
You know,
you just
avoid the things.
Oh, avoid the things. Well, if I do that,
Yeah.
I'd already be down there. But if we're working together, I can come with you.
Aphra snorts.
Well,
Slightly
I'm pretty tough.
non-dignifying it.
I survived the sunken caverns. I mean, let me up, pretty tough guy.
And he shows you his noodle arms.
Mm-hmm.
He weighs about 97 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
He's about 6 feet tall. So he's a very
Yeah.
skinny man. Yeah.
Oh God.
I had
Yeah.
my toast this morning.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well,
I can tell you don't seem completely convinced, and that's fine. I will say that I don't have the keen mind that I had in my youth, and there may be parts of this that I'm missing. That's why I kept such great notes, you see, and with beautiful pictures too. But this is the gist of it, for sure. Now, if you could
okay.
find my research, that would be incredible. But I fear that it's already in the possession of Kelodek at this point.
Yeah, it probably is. Probably is. All right. Well, that was at least not. This hasn't been as unpleasant as I had feared it would be. I'm
Now,
gonna leave now.
I thought you were going to be very uppity and rude, but it seems that time has tempered your wild ways, young lady, and you'll understand when you are with your elders to behave yourself. So, thank you.
Aphra just blinks slowly and walks out the door.
Okay. All right. You hear him lock and latch the door after you leave.
Yeah. It was painful. That hurt you guys. It hurt real bad. Okay.
All right.
All right. And head back to the empty net.
Okay. Heading back to the empty net. Oof. Okay. So, let's see. Back at the empty net. Boo. Oh, did I never take you guys off the empty net? I thought I did. Oh
No,
well.
you did. You just
Oh,
moved us
okay.
back.
Oh, cool. Sorry. Part of my brain is working on one thing, and part of my brain's working on another thing. It totally makes sense to me. I promise. Let's see. I want something taverny, but also I gotta kill my friend from my past for being a fuck up. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's a hard
But we
one.
have to be so careful with music now. We have to stay firmly in video game music because anything from like the non-video game music side of things, I guess they're gonna like crack down on super hard. So,
That's too bad.
yeah. I mean, it comes and goes. There was a while where if you used any music, they would like mute your streams and stuff. So, I don't know. Let's see. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, maybe this one. This could be kind of sinister. Is there sinister tavern music? We'll find out.
I mean, if not, then like a happy breaking things tavern music.
That's true too. We'll go with Hearthstone Lich King. I feel like that should be both taverny, but also kind of ominous. Oh yeah, okay. It's a little more trumpet than I thought there'd be. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fun. It's fun.
All right. So, over here. Now at this point, I would magically push a button called nighttime, and the whole map would turn magically to nighttime. It's pretty amazing. But that's not a feature of Roll20. That's a feature of Foundry, so we don't have that feature. All right. So you're over at the tavern. It's nighttime. They have marched out Justin. Justin the Snitch. All right. He stands in this very sad fighting ring. And Krebs like, we got a real nice fighting ring down in the, in the Thieves Guild. But I wanted this to be, as humiliating as possible for him, so he doesn't get to fight in the cool ring. Also, we have a special guest coming tonight that wanted to watch. It's very, very hush hush though. So, everything happening here tonight is hush hush hush. All right, and almost as if on cue, you see walking in. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Two people that you guys have met previously that apparently have an interest in underground blood sport fighting. Imagine that. I guess where are you guys at? What are you guys up to here? Is anyone gonna like jump in, or is everybody just watching?
Yeah,
Nah,
trust
just watching.
Pietro's got it
Yeah, we
under
always
control.
All right. So
Probably
stepping.
pretty drunk by now. So
Oh, fair enough.
small girl.
You see stepping in from the rain, and pulling his cowl down is Gellin Primewater. And then you see a lacy black parasol kind of lower itself and shake off some water. And you see Lady Primewater.
Interesting.
All right. So there's a kind of a murmur as they kind of move over. And yeah, Primewater, he seems like, yeah, okay, he would be in an establishment like this. Her, maybe not so much. I don't know. But she walks stiffly, and her eyes are wide as if she is overstimulated. Like there's just too much noise, color, people, that sort of thing. All right. They order some drinks, take a seat, and prepare to watch. All right, Justin. They kind of patched him up from his beatings. He stands before you. He's wearing leather armor, and they have given him a mace. That's all he's got. All right, he looks over at you through a swollen eye that's blackened, and he's like, Pietro, buddy, you saved my life. You're not gonna let it end like this, are you? They said I'm gonna be fighting to the death tonight.
You will be. But I will make it a fair fight. If you can best me, live. If not, your actions seal your own fate.
His eyes kind of go wide. He's like, maybe when we were kids. There's no way I could beat you now.
Wait, this is
Come
your
on.
childhood friend?
I will take off my cloak of protection, hand that to Garuda, and I will take off my my scale mail, and that to Garuda, and I will only fight with my my +2 scimitar and relying on my barbarian innate armor defense. So give me 1 second to adjust all that. Why is it not taking that stuff off? Did I screw something up? Hold on, let me refresh my Roll20.
Okay.
I unequipped some stuff, and it was like, no, your AC is still 19. I was like, that isn't right. There we go. So get Trust and Garuda to look after the rest of my belongings. I'm gonna hop back in here and square off against Justin. And said, is he like restrained or is he just sort of standing there?
Oh no, I mean he's not restrained. He has
Okay.
armor and weapons. He has all his hit points.
Right.
He could leave if he wanted to.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna go up to him and quietly say, "I gave you your life before, and I told you to do it as you see fit, and you saw fit to blab about all this when I told you to keep quiet. This is your own fault." And I'll step back away and tell him,
Pietro, I was drinking. I was drinking to forget. I couldn't find any work. I thought maybe if people heard, you know, the ordeal and maybe that I helped, you know, deal with that stuff, I could get some work, you know? I mean, Pietro, come on.
"No,
Just
just no. Try and die well, at least." And then I guess we'll roll into initiative.
okay. All right, you're up first.
All right, I'm going to step in, and I'm going to.
Give me a perception check real quick.
Okay. 16.
Okay, you see Crabshanker as he's passing a beer to somebody. He takes his left hand. He does like a lower gesture, like lower the volume kind of gesture, like and then he gives you a wink. All right, keep going.
All right. I'm going to strike at Justin with my scimitar.
Okay. Yeah, 13 hits. He takes 8 points of damage. Blood spatters down onto the ring. People cheer.
Okay. And sort of like you are nothing to me. I'm just gonna walk over here, and then over to the other side of the arena, allowing him to take an opportunity attack.
All right, yeah, he lashes out at you.
That'll hit.
Okay. As he scores a hit on you, there's a kind of a sound of, you know, meat just kind of, and there is sort of a, you know, a murmur from the crowd.
And then I'll walk back in, and I'll hit him a second time because I have an extra attack.
All right. Oh yeah, that hits. He is already bloodied. All right, as more blood sprays out, Jenna and Aphra, you see Lady Primordial's face is very flush. Her nostrils are breathing a lot more than they normally do.
Okay.
All right. Justin, kind of grabbing his side, where the slashes are bleeding out. He lets out a roar of frustration and tries to hit you with his mace. Oh, poor guy. All right, let's see what happens. All right, as he charges forward, you just kind of give him like a shove. He kind of slips in the gravel. He's going to have a 1d4 penalty to his next 2 attack rolls. All right, he stands up in the gravel, swings. It's a 17 minus 2, 15.
That hits.
All right. Okay. Now, again, if you don't want to go a full 10 rounds, you know that mathematically you could go a full 10 rounds. So at any point you want to narratively take over this combat, you certainly can. Because this guy is totally at your mercy.
Okay.
Yep. All right, back to you, Pietro.
Um.
Like if you wanted to tell us
Yeah.
this, yeah, if you wanted to tell us the story of this fight, we would all listen.
I think I'd like to tell the story of this fight.
Yeah, because I wanted to do one round so you could see just how much more powerful Pietro has become from a man he used to be on the same level as.
So I would let the attack go through, and then making it look as best I can without scoring another hit, because I could shred him in 2 seconds. I will, swing at him and, deliberately sort of maybe pulling my swing a bit so he can get his mace up in time to
Right,
work.
right.
And
Okay.
and then after he blocks that, I'll spin around and then let him and go low, and again pull my swing so he can block that low attack with his mace to give it the impression that again maybe he has a fighting chance.
Okay.
And then I would back away and let him score another or try and score another hit on me with his mace. Maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. But I would sort of start doing the whole Apollo Creed, dancing around him a little bit, um, and then I would get in close on one side and grabbing the haft of the mace, force him up against the wall, and say to him quietly, "I don't understand why you are begging for your life. You have every opportunity to make a difference here. I let you live after you left me to die when you left me at the mercy of that black dragon. It is your stupidity and your choices that has brought you here. And yet you grovel instead of finding honor in a quick death. And yet again, I carry you so that you are not immediately thought of as a wastrel. I will enjoy killing you."
Hmm.
And then I will back away again and let him take a swing at me.
All right. In a fury, he charges you and tries to grapple you. Give me an athletics check. Oh, it's just really sad to watch. You hear Krebs' voice over the cheering of the crowd, and he says, I heard this guy's a snitch. What do snitches get in Saltmarsh?" And you hear the crowd all shout, "Stitches!" And he's like, "What do they get? Stitches!" And then he's like, "Nah, they get gutted like a fucking fish." And like the crowd gets real quiet, and then they all kind of, "Huzzah!" Uh, all right. Yeah, he's just trying to grapple you. He's trying to beat on you with the mace. It's just sad to watch. People are laughing, ridiculing him. Some people are throwing scraps of food at him. All
I
right,
will,
a full, minute plus has gone by. You're well past 10 rounds at this point.
all right. In that case, I'm going to step forward and I'm going to. I don't know if you want to do this mechanically or narratively, but I would like to disarm him.
Oh
Like
yeah, sure, yeah.
by disarm, I don't mean take his arm off, but like fling away the mace and have it like stick to the side of the pit or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sounds cool like
He's
that.
a CR half creature. So
Okay,
yeah, there's not much that he could possibly do unless he's gonna rock nat 20s the whole fight. So
that's not happening.
yeah.
And once I have sort of deftly thrown the mace into the wall, I will stick my scimitar in the ground and I will grab Justin by the front of his leather armor, and I will pick him up and I will slam him against the wall a couple of times just to get
Oh
him to
dang.
move,
All
and
right.
then pulling him from the wall if he's sort of ragdolled, turn around, shove him down into the gravel, and then straddling his chest, I will grab him round by the throat and throttle him.
All right. Give me a perception check, Pietro. Okay. You are lost in the throes of battle. So you do not see the gesture that is made. Garuda, Jetta, and Aphra, as well as Gravik, I suppose, but Gravik's probably on the lookout for danger. You see a smile on Primordial's face as he raises his mug, a lead mug, uh, in salute to Pietro. Looking over at his wife, she is breathing very quickly. Her eyes are super dilated, almost all black.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just gonna step over.
Jenna will lift her mug too and sell it.
All right. The camera cuts back to Pietro. Justin is very weakly kind of slapping at you, trying to get you to stop. His face starts turning blue. His eyes start rolling around in his head. And finally, yeah, you feel him just sort of expire. All right. As he drops into unconsciousness and then dies, there is a silence in the establishment, followed by raucous cheering and toasting, drinks, that sort of thing. These are people who make a very hard and dishonest living off the Sword Coast in their town of Saltmarsh, and they can't afford to let this kind of behavior go around unpunished. So, amongst the people in this line of work, what happened here tonight will be talked about quite readily, so that people remember to keep their mouths shut. All right.
Pietro hoists himself out of the fighting pit and go back up to Garuda. And after sort of smoothing his hair back and composing himself a little bit, he'll very politely say, Garuda, thank you for looking after my things. You'll excuse me, I will get dressed again. And he'll go back into the room to put his things back on and have a moment to himself.
Okay. Is it one of those moments where if it was like a show, we'd see a bunch of cutscenes of you and Justin in your youth when things were still cool, and you were becoming mercenaries together and kicking ass all across Maztica and running away from like cobra-headed Yuan-Ti cultists and doing all kinds of rad shit, and then the betrayal at the Black Dragon, and then finding him in the prison, and then his execution? Or is it just you're thinking like, man, whatever they're cooking for dinner tonight smells really good? It's like, man, that's good stuff. I don't know. Where is Pietro at?
Pietro is, and I do like that one. Pietro is recollecting his past with Justin, but he's also needing to remind himself that he, despite the betrayal, he gave Justin every opportunity to make good. He could have run away, but no, he stuck around and they chatted in Daggerford. They had their meal together, where he forgave him and said, go out and make good. And we're not cool, but I'm not going to kill you. And he warned him, like, look, we're gonna give you every opportunity. If I do have to kill you, we're gonna face off against each other, and you're gonna have a weapon in your hand. And Justin was just he was all talk, couldn't back it up. But at the same time, Pietro is wondering about the choices that he's making. He's sort of staring at himself in the mirror and just thinking. But after getting dressed and putting all his stuff back on, he is going to go back out and he's going to drink, but he's not going to drink to excess like he did when they killed that drought.
All right, fair enough. Okay. As the body is dragged away, and normal business resumes, Prime Order looks at all of you, and he says, I've had a really good feeling about you guys from the start. We had a rough start there, but I think as the months have passed, you've proven to be one of the greatest boons I've ever encountered.
To you as well.
You're
Go ahead.
You're experts in your field that aren't afraid to get your hands dirty and understand when things need to be, taken care of. That's important. And then Lady Prime Water says, yes, and it was very exciting. I don't get out much, but when Gellin said I could come and watch the fight, I was very excited. And you have delivered a wonderful evening. I thank you so much. And then as Pietro arrives, Lady Primewater rises with preternatural quickness and moves to you. Are you all cleaned up or are you just dressed?
I'm just dressed.
Okay. She approaches you and she looks deep into your eyes and she says, you were a fantastic artist. You painted the worlds with his blood. And she kind of reaches out with a long finger, and her fingernail kind of traces a little bit on your neck, and she pulls it back and licks the Justin's blood from her fingernail. She closes her eyes and says, thank you for this gift, for showing us who you are, laying bare the canvas of your soul. I have a gift as well. I've been painting all day, and I knew that sweet Aphra might not come back for it, so... and she claps her hands, and you see a beefy boy Prime Order guards come in, and they have a very ominous rectangular crate. Don't
Oh
worry,
boy.
I made sure to wrap it. I didn't want the rain to ruin the varnish.
I'm so excited.
I know. Aphra, this is a great gift I give to you. A chance to look into the eyes of your very special patron. And they begin, crowbarring the crate open. Do you flee the room, Aphra?
No.
No? Oh.
I sit uncomfortably. Couple of more shots down the hole.
All right. Fair enough. I actually have a handout for it. Hold on a second. You could do it. Roll20. We're almost at the end. Please don't die. It tries so hard, It tries so hard. Yeah, so they open up the crates, pull back, sort of the parchment paper, wax paper covering, and they show you this freshly varnished and completed painting. There are people who see this painting who immediately begin to vomit. Some of them turn away. A couple of people cry out.
Yeah, Gerda's one of them people crying.
I mean, it's not actually quite what I thought it would be. Huh.
They're fine.
Krebs says, Lady Primewater, I just gotta ask, how big do you imagine those sharks are in that lovely painting that you have graced us with on this fine and lovely evening? And then Gellin says, she said they were, what were the words that you used, sweetheart? Dinosaur sharks. Yeah, so what is that, like a megalodon? Is that what they're called? You know, the ones that are like 50 feet long.
Wow.
And he kind of does like a hard swallow. But apparently, we got nothing to worry about because we have Aphra here. And Gellin kind of draws everyone's attention to you, and everybody kind of turns and looks at Aphra.
And Aphra just, like, kind of sneaks under the table. Just, like, slides down in her chair.
All right. Prime Order says, where do you want the painting delivered, you ship?
Wait, what?
I mean, it's yours.
It's whose?
Well, it's Aphra's, but, you know. You all for one for all, right?
That might be best. Just deliver it to the ship, and I'm sure Aphra will find it an appropriate place for it.
Okay.
Still, have them instruct the crew to set it up in her room.
All right. He motions at the two guards, and they begin slowly packing it back up. All right. The curious peering eye is the last thing that gets covered by parchment, and as they raise the wood frame and begin to sort of hammer the nails back into place. So, Prime Order says, I heard that you're hiring a lot of people because you're in a hurry for some reason. I might be able to find some people, maybe pull some off of my my current ship if you're in a hurry. I don't know what you're getting up to, but I'm sure it's bound to be profitable.
Yes, the sooner we can leave, the better.
All right. He stands, offers a hand to Lady Primewater, who seems invigorated by the night's activities. And she sort of just dance twirls out of her chair and into his arms, and begins to kiss him. It's very like Addams Family, like Morticia and Gomez kind of deal. And then he leads her towards the door. She opens her parasol, he pulls up his hood, and they head out into the rain.
Such a cute couple.
All right. So, I will take you guys back to your dashboard. With the borrowed crew from Prime Order, you guys should be able to head out in the morning to go rescue a baby, because that's what heroes do. All right. So yeah, that is the session. Next week you will set sail and head out. Let's see. You guys are back at Saltmarsh. Your destination is actually so small as to not even be visible on the map. You are heading right about there, where I drew that big, ugly pink circle. So it's really not that far at all.
No.
Yeah.
We probably sailed kind of close to it on our way back from Waterdeep, potentially.
Yeah. All right. It's just one of those little specks of land, like jutting out of the ocean, essentially. And again, Sword Coast has a lot of those, called the Sword Coast because of all the jagged spires of rock. Spires of rock in the ocean have to be caused by something, hence the mountainous terrain. If you were doing an underwater campaign, it would essentially be underwater mountains, this whole area, which is kind of cool. All right. So, any announcements? There's a build battle going on. The winner of the build battle, that sub race will become a playable race on our server. Already, all of the submissions are better than anything that was made for the League of Legends crossover, so that's cool to see.
There's a League of
So
Legends crossover.
It's terrible. Don't think about it.
yeah, so if you are interested, please enter. Based on how this one goes, we might try other homebrew challenges as well. Maybe introduce some community-made homebrew into the games. It might be kind of fun. This is something that you're gonna have to be neighbors with. So if people decide to play it, so you might want to cast your vote because your vote's gonna matter. Let's see. I'm running a one shot next Wednesday. It's got a wait list. There's a bunch of new people on the Discord. If you have friends, family, whatever that you wanted to invite to the Discord because they like Dungeons and Dragons, they want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, they don't, bring the political or religious bullshit into the server, let me know. We can get them an invite code. You just have to sort of vouch for them when they join, like you see me do, where I'm like, so-and-so is a such and such, just so that we know they're not some rando that showed up. Yeah. Anybody have any announcements?
Can you post the picture of She Who Hungers in Discord? I'm gonna make
Yeah.
my background for my computer.
Sure.
Hey, are you serious?
Yeah, it's cool as shit. And
It is
I'll
cool,
get
but
to
I'm a
think
little
about it.
concerned at that. Honestly.
Yeah, you want it to be your background?
I mean, not
let's see.
permanently, but like for a little bit. It's pretty cool to look at.
What you say, Zach? Mister, I can't watch a Space Odyssey because it's too scary.
Yeah, let me track it down. I think I
The
moved it to
picture's
my...
not that scary.
What are you saying?
It's creepy.
Roll20's being weird.
Yeah.
Alright, dude,
I'll
I
have
have.
I'll have to track it. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, I'll have to track it down, but I'll throw it into the Game Art channel for you.
Maybe Aphra should do it too, because she's gonna have to confront it too. Eventually.